Is there a name for this private little world of yours? Huh? What happens there when we don't just run away? You'll kill us with a soup cup?
While most people know Vin Diesel for speeding through action-packed scenes as Dom Toretto in the Fast and Furious movies, there's another role of his that fans haven't forgotten: Riddick. And for those who've been waiting patiently to see that character again, it seems like their patience is about to pay off. Vin Diesel has been quietly fueling excitement for the long-awaited Riddick Furia, dropping hints here and there, and now momentum for the fourth installment finally seems to be building. Production on Furia officially kicked off last year, and we've already gotten a few behind-the-scenes looks. Most recently, Diesel shared a post on Instagram, a single image of himself fully in character, with a cryptic but exciting caption, "Incoming." That one word was all it took to send fans into a frenzy. Judging by the flood of comments, people are truly hyped, and it looks like something big, possibly a teaser or full trailer, might be right around the corner. So, what can fans expect from Riddick Furia? While not a ton has been officially revealed yet, there have been some intriguing teases about where this next chapter is heading. Director and writer David Twohy, who's been with the series since the beginning, previously shared that this film will finally bring Riddick back to his roots. According to Twohy, the fans have been asking for this for years, and now, at long last, they're delivering. The movie will take us to Riddick's long-lost homeworld, Furia, where we'll explore the character's mysterious origins in depth more than ever before. Vin Diesel first introduced audiences to Riddick back in 2000 with Pitch Black, a surprise cult hit that established him as a new action star. That film's gritty survival tone and simple concept hit home with fans and laid the groundwork for a much bigger universe. Then came 2004's The Chronicles of Riddick, which expanded the scope dramatically, turning Riddick into a messiah-like figure caught in an intergalactic war. Nearly a decade later, 2013's Riddick scaled things back again, returning to a leaner, more stripped-down survivor thriller format. That third film ended with Riddick still trying to find his way back to Furia, so it makes perfect sense for the fourth film to finally pick up that thread and bring him home. Though the cast hasn't officially been announced, there's potential for a bunch of new characters to show up alongside some returning faces. The last film featured a pretty solid ensemble that included actors like Jordi Mollà, Matt Nable, Katee Sackhoff, Bautista, Karl Urban, and Bokeem Woodbine. Whether any of them return remains to be seen, but given the new setting and storyline, there's plenty of room to introduce fresh characters, especially other Furians who have been surviving in this harsh world Riddick barely remembers. The big idea in Furia is that Riddick isn't as alone as he once believed. After all this time thinking he was the last of his kind or one of the few scattered survivors, he'll discover that there are other Furians still fighting to survive, and that some of them might be a lot like him, maybe even too much like him. And that raises a lot of interesting questions. What makes Riddick special? Is he really a hero, or just one of many hardened survivors? This shift opens the door for a deeper exploration of his identity and powers. The visuals we've seen so far also tease a new direction. One behind-the-scenes image shows Diesel behind the wheel of a rugged dune buggy-style vehicle, driving through what looks like a windswept, desert-like landscape. The camera rig is clearly set up to capture something intense, and the location fits what we'd expect from a brutal planet like Furia. All in all, it looks like the team is going all in to create something immersive and action-heavy. Now, let's talk about the franchise's past, because understanding that helps us appreciate where it's going. The Chronicles of Riddick series has had a bit of a bumpy road, especially in theaters. The original Pitch Black did well for its modest $23 million budget, pulling in over $53 million worldwide and earning a solid cult following. That success encouraged Universal to go bigger with The Chronicles of Riddick in 2004, which had an ambitious budget of around $110 million. Unfortunately, it only barely made that back with $115.9 million globally, which made it a financial disappointment despite its world-building efforts. Then came Riddick in 2013, which was made on a much smaller budget, around $38 million, and managed to earn just under $100 million worldwide. So while it wasn't a massive hit, it showed there was still interest in the character, especially among loyal fans. The movies have always done well on home release and streaming platforms, which suggests that this franchise has a strong niche audience, even if it doesn't always dominate at the box office. And that's part of what makes Furia such an interesting opportunity. Since it's returning to Riddick's roots both literally and thematically, it could act as a soft reboot or fresh start, pulling in new fans without requiring them to have seen every past film. If they strike the right balance between old-school survival thriller and deeper sci-fi storytelling, it might give the franchise a whole new life. Of course, Diesel's career outside of Fast and Furious hasn't exactly been full of hits in recent years. Films like Bloodshot and The Last Witch Hunter didn't perform the way studios hoped, so Riddick Furia offers him a chance to reconnect with fans through a character that has always felt uniquely his. Riddick isn't just another action hero, he's darker, more brutal, and more layered than many of Diesel's other roles. That's what makes his return so exciting. Another interesting hint came from a storyboard Diesel posted on Instagram. It featured a drawing of Riddick in a spacesuit, looking stunned, with the caption, "Scene 10, the boy's eyes shine just like Riddick's." That one line has fans speculating all kinds of things. Could there be another Furian out there with powers like Riddick's? Is it a relative, a son, a clone? It suggests we might finally get some answers about the origin of Riddick's signature night vision known as eyeshine, and possibly see others who share that trait. It's fascinating to think about how far the franchise has come since Pitch Black, which was a simple creature feature about surviving on a dark planet. Over time, the films evolved into something bigger, adding layers of mythology, political intrigue, and personal legacy. With Furia, it looks like the series is doubling down on its emotional and narrative depth, exploring not just where Riddick comes from, but who he really is and what he stands for. Even though the theatrical response to the series has been mixed, the fans have stuck around. And because the storylines were always left somewhat open, especially with Riddick failing to reach his home planet in the third movie, this next installment feels like the logical next step. It's a continuation that could also serve as a turning point. If done right, Riddick Furia could expand the universe in new directions, introduce compelling new characters, and offer the kind of bold sci-fi storytelling that stands out in a crowded market. So, will Riddick Furia revitalize the series and draw in a new wave of fans? That remains to be seen. But one thing's clear, there's still a lot of story left to tell, and Diesel is all in on making this the best version of Riddick yet. He's clearly passionate about the role, and that dedication might be just what this long-running series needs to get back on its feet. Whether you're a longtime fan who's been waiting over a decade, or someone curious about what all the fuss is about, Furia could be the entry point that makes the Chronicles of Riddick feel exciting again. Diesel's teasing more updates soon, and with production well underway, a teaser might just be around the corner. So hold tight, it looks like Riddick's story is far from over.